Welcome back to Bryan Station High School here and on the campus of Bryan Station. A beautiful day, gorgeous field. We just finished our first game. The 2A Division State champion is the New Harlan football team with their head man. Yeah, the Patriots, of course. Hit John Reynolds for New Harlan. John, we were really excited to get you up here and talk a little bit about your football team. Let's just start off with something you and I mentioned real quickly, and that is the physical nature of your team. Darren Douglas, the guy I work with, the play-by-play guy, said, boy, this is shoe leather football. This is just offensive line, defensive line, tough guys making tackles, blocks, so on.
Yeah, I come from the EKU kid, EKU Roy kid. Physical football kind of play. That was what he believed in, and that's what I believe in.
Yeah, we're really impressed with that. The defenses you run, the offense, and so on. We're going to jump right away and talk about something that means a lot to me. We saw Matthew Brown just have a great game. Tell me a little bit about your offensive line. Who's your offensive line coach, and some of the things you work with during the week before games like this?
Well, I'd have to say that I probably focus more with the offensive line than a lot of people. I put a lot of focus. To me, it's the little things. You know, it's your head placement. It's what foot you step with. It's technique. It's that kind of stuff. And I think that's the kind of stuff that wins you games.
Yeah, we're impressed with that and your running backs. And I talked a little bit about quarterback. I coached for 35 years myself in high school, and I was primarily a quarterback coach. And I just like the way your quarterback plays football. They talk about game managers.
That's what he is.
Yeah, but he's also a leader. He just seems so cool out there. I called him the Iceman. He just seems to have control of what's going on. Just cool as can be.
Well, they just got to see poise from him. I mean, he can throw it when he wants to. I mean, we just had the luxury this year to be able to kind of like line up and pick our poison where we wanted to go, and our offensive line kind of carried the load, but he can drop back and he can throw it when they need to.
Tell me a little bit about Josh Turner and Hunter Blevins. They were a big part of your game plan today.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I try to keep it as simple as I can as far as like what they do and what they don't do, and let everybody know what their role is and what they can be. And to me, Josh and Matt, or Josh and Hunter's kind of like rhinos. I call them rhinos, and that's kind of what they are. They're just kind of like bulls, and it's what that's what I want them to do. And then, of course, we got the little gazelles there. We hit up the middle every now and then.
Well, you know what I really like, and Darren and I both mentioned this. You had a fumble on I can't remember if it was Turner or whoever.
It was Hunter in the second series.
He fumbled the football, all right? We complimented you and your staff. You immediately went back to him the next time and let him carry the football.
That's what I wanted. I wanted him to understand that we needed him and wanted him to have, I needed him to build him back any confidence that he might have left dropping the ball. We try to play as perfect a game as we can play, but sometimes you mess up. I mean, that's life. Okay, you can't go back, but go forward.
Well, Matthew Brown had 10 carries for 184 yards today, and then I mentioned the other two. One of them had 81 yards, the other had 65. We always joke around about time of possession. I mean, you had a minute time of possession, but I tell you what, it doesn't really matter when you have the big play capabilities that you do.
Well, normally we kind of held the time of possession all through the tournament till this one, but we just hit the big plays and it was working for us. So I guess we'll take them when we get them.
And the interceptions, you had I don't know.
I don't remember how many we had.
Yeah.
Had 3 or 4 himself.
Yeah, that's exactly. You had. I'm trying to find.
I know we had
here.
them, but I don't remember. I think Gavin got one, and I remember Perez got one at the end. And
right. You had 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions today, I think.
Well, we're learning to play coverage, I guess.
Learning to play coverage. And again, Owensboro Catholic got here. They're a good football team. I mean, they really are. They had a great game yesterday. Played really well. I think they just ran into some things they just couldn't handle right away, and it got away from them.
Well, we were blessed with in the regular season to play some very, very tough competition, and we had a pretty good schedule, and we were on the road most of the time. So going somewhere on Saturday for a long period of time isn't nothing new to us this year.
Well, this is Mike Meehan again, Coach Meehan, and I'm talking to head coach for New Harlan, John Reynolds. We mentioned on the air, too, that the high school football team needs to take a look at these 8th graders and see what's coming up because, boy, I tell you what, we like the Harlan Bears anyway, but if these guys are going to that school, That school's lucky.
Well, Harlan County is going to get a good collection of kids, and they just need to stay focused and keep going and see where they are in 4 years.
William?
Coach, what does a win like this mean to you, to your school, to your community, especially when in your area right now, coal's been a big issue, especially when you're paying attention to all these political debates and things on TV. You guys are losing jobs down there and things like that. People need to turn to football. So how big a win is that for you?
I hope it's big for our community, and I hope when they come back home, the people will celebrate it with them. And I think it means something to them because it's kind of a struggling economy right now. It seems to get worse and worse every year, and this gives them something to look forward to, I hope.
Yeah, we really like that area of the country too, and a lot of us talk about that a lot. I'm from Western Pennsylvania. Western Pennsylvania is that same mountain chain area, even though I'm.
It's beautiful country and beautiful people.
It is beautiful country, beautiful people. Where you had the coal, we had the steel mills and stuff like that. But your fans, by the way, William kind of hinted at that too. What a great group of fans you had today. They were just going crazy.
Boy, aren't they energetic? Man. Boy, I'm telling you.
They are extremely energetic.
Oh, they are.
They made a lot of noise and the right kind of noise.
They've done it all year.
They had a lot of fun. Well,
yeah, they have.
Well, real quickly, so we can get back to our break before this next game. New Harlan, you looking forward to the future? Are you going to be there in the future? Do you have kids on the football team or anything like that?
Yeah. I'm a former high school coach, and I coached many years in high school, and my kid's in the middle school now, so I come in to coach him. And so as long as he's playing, I'm coaching.
If you've, I ended up in my career coaching all three of my sons, and there's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Good and bad.
Well, you have to understand that, and you have to understand that what you say in practice is different than the ride home and what Mama hears, and that's just the way it is. But that's the way I learned it. Well, congratulations again, John Reynolds, and we appreciate you being here with us.
All right, thanks
super
for having me. I
interview.
appreciate it.
Congratulations. Go enjoy your team. Real quick right now, we're in between games with about 9 minutes to go before this second game. This is PrepSpin brought to you by White, Greer, Maggard, our title sponsors.
You're on.
The site is R.L. Griner Stadium on the campus of Bryan Station High School in Lexington, Kentucky. And it's the Kentucky Middle School Football Association state playoffs. And what you're looking at is the scene before you. The 7th grade teams warming up for the 7th grade state championship game. It'll feature the Spartans of South Warren against the Maroons of Northern Pulaski. Good afternoon and welcome to Lexington, Kentucky on the PrepSpin Sports Network. I'm Darren Douglas along with the coach, Mike Meehan, along with William Warfield, and the big guy upstairs giving us all the views from the camera, Joe Allen, to bring you the exciting action of this middle school state championship game. As I said, this is the 7th grade championship game from Lexington. It features two teams that had relatively easy times in their semifinal games yesterday. South Warren knocked off Glasgow 36-6, while Northern Pulaski knocked off a really feisty Newburgh team 26-6. And Coach, things that stood out yesterday was basically that Newburgh team here in the 7th grade semifinals. They very undersized, athletic, but a really good, solid tackling team.
Yeah, we mentioned that several times. It's pretty impressive that as 7th graders that they've already learned these fundamentals of tackling. They're not afraid to get in there to make the tackle, but they're smart enough to know that if somebody's a lot bigger than they are, they get down around the thighs and wrap them up to bring them down. Loved watching the fundamentals. That means a couple things. That means really, really good coaching at this level, but also pretty good coaching when they played previous to this, maybe in elementary school.
Well, you look across the way, you see the white jerseyed and helmeted, if that's a word, talking to the English teacher next to me.
I think you can use that.
Okay.
I do believe it.
Let's just say the white Thompson lids for the Spartans of South Warren in the black pants, and on the near side here, today clad in their maroon jerseys. Gray pants with the silver helmets, the Maroons of Northern Pulaski. And, Coach, we were commenting yesterday, this Northern Pulaski team, big, very well schooled. They don't huddle on the offensive side of the ball, but they have, more importantly, to the kids and mamas, they have 3 different jerseys.
That's right. Keep one clean, keep one on, and wash the other 2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like the uniforms, though. The silver helmets really set it off.
Yeah, and I didn't see who won the toss, Coach. We weren't paying too much attention to the coin toss, so we'll see here in just a minute. It looks like South Warren may be lining up to kick off, going left to right. So we mentioned South Warren, a 36-6 winner over Glasgow. Northern Pulaski 26-6 winners in their semifinal game over Newburgh. So should be a good game. We'll see. Actually, Pulaski's going to kick off. Northern Pulaski's going to kick off first, and they'll move right to left on whatever device you're watching this afternoon here in Lexington. Glad you're along with us. Already one champion crowned in the Division II of 8th grade. The Patriots of New Harlan, convincingly over Owensboro Catholic.
Just an absolutely convincing win. A tremendous offense and defense performance.
5 touchdowns for a guy that Coach is absolutely fond of. I mean, how much would you have had if you had Matthew Brown on your team? Would you give him the ball?
Oh, anybody with that kind of skill level, I'll take him.
There you go. Kickoff straight down the field, picked up on the left hash mark by South Warren. I couldn't pick up the number. We'll get him as soon as he gets himself up off the ground.
20,
that is
21.
Kobe Martin, the running back for the Spartans. He gets back to the 25-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him out, I believe, at the 26-yard line. That's where actually the 27. They got him a little bit further than I thought. 27-yard line, 1st and 10, South Warren.
These 7th grade games, just a reminder, they're 7-minute quarters, so they go very, very quickly.
We look at the staggered eyes shotgun formation with 2 receivers to the left. They move one back to the offside as the wing back. They'll center it to the running back. Actually, they were in the Wildcat. That is Luke Burton, but he's dropped for a loss.
Yeah, it was a really
2 yards.
Right, a really nice job of tackling by number 64 for North Pulaski.
That is Leighton Abbott.
Leighton Abbott shot in there and took the legs out from under the runner.
And they run a 5-man front due to the Maroons defensively with 3 linebackers. Actually, they look like a 4-4, Coach.
Yeah, they're on a 4 front now. Well, actually, yeah, it's either that.
They give it off to Martin, running to the right side, nothing doing.
Really nice job. He's not on the bottom of the pile, but number 83 for Pulaski jumped in there and stopped the run from getting outside.
Braden Gibson is who Coach is referring to. The first guy to him, though, was the tackle on that side. Looks like 63. Is that Declan Hayes? I assume that's 63.
64 with the pink socks.
Yeah, that's Leighton Abbott then. So it's 3rd and 11. And the regular quarterback in now for. Picked off, and a nice interception by number 26 for Northern Pulaski. That is Barrick Williams with the interception.
Job by Williams. He diagnosed that right from the beginning and was all over it.
And Barrick was one of those linebackers, the outside linebacker. Northern Pulaski played, a 5-3 yesterday, Coach?
Yeah, it looked like they stayed in a 5 front a lot, but today they're not. They're in a three down lineman. Could be a 3-4 look or even a 4-3 look if you consider the linebackers.
Looked like what they did, what they normally do. They had 4 on the first couple plays that they reading or expecting run. It looked like they stacked the linebackers behind each defensive lineman. They pitch it on the sweep to, is that 83?
83.
That is number 83, Braden Gibson for Northern Pulaski. He gets down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line.
No huddle, off to the line scrimmage quickly, number 2 quarterback.
And it'll bring up 2nd down and 6, a gain of 4 for Northern Pulaski. And stacked up in the middle of the line was that
26.
That's 26. The guy who came up with the interception, Williams, and he got back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. So it's 3rd and 6. Actually, 3rd and 6 from the 16-yard line for the Maroons. Just underway for the 7th grade state championship game here. 4:40, clock rolling in the opening quarter. The quarterback is Drew Polston. Gives it off to number 33. Nice cut, but he's met in the hole. As making the play defensively was Aiden Rasdell, number 8. He didn't make the tackle initially, but he forced him back inside. The ball carrier was Corbin Goff.
Corbin Goff, nice job turning the field, but number 5 also got in on that tackle.
That was Luke Burton on the tackle for the Spartans.
I like Luke Burton, boy. He really accelerated.
Give Goff a yard. It'll be 4th and 5. And we're going to have the right guard, I believe, flinch for Northern Pulaski. Devin Wesley.
Nice-looking football team. Very organized. Coach does a really good job with his offensive football team.
Well, I've always heard an old school coach say, if you look good, you play good. Now, I don't know if he's referring to the uniforms or his players' looks or if fundamentals were good and all that stuff.
Yeah, either way.
Who knows?
Take a look at this formation.
Well, they're going to empty the backfield. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 back to the right. Polston rolls left, throws. It's caught at the 10, and it'll be a first down for Northern Pulaski by number 28, Zach Travis, to get the first down for the Maroons. And I tell you what, we saw this yesterday a lot. They roll Polston when they do throw the ball. Coach, he's a right-handed quarterback. They roll him a lot to his left. And that's tough to do because you have to get those shoulders square to your target to throw it down the field going that way. They go 2 to the left, 2 to the right. And Williams to the left of the quarterback. He cuts it back and then goes forward, and we have a late flag coming in from the umpire. Usually means holding, but we'll see what happens there.
Okay, I got my new tough guy in the game so far.
Uh-oh.
Evan Lee. Evan Lee on defense over here. Diminutive young man. I saw him come up and make the tackle on that pass play where the pass was complete. Boy, I tell you what, he put his shoulder in there and just did a heck of a job making the tackle.
Got a face mask on South Warren. And for the young man he's referring to, folks, he is your right cornerback here on the near side, just inside the goal, the end zone area, coming out to guard. Number 28, Zach Travis. Head up on him. They fake it. Polston will come on the zone read and get nope, they're going to call him out of bounds just inside the 1.
Oh, that was so close.
Nice read and a nice job by Polston trying to stick the ball out there, and unfortunately his left heel was on the sideline, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Pretty decent job by Logan Young getting the block out there with one of the fullbacks, one of the running backs.
Pretty good job, too, by that cornerback you were talking about, Coach, coming up and
he's my man.
Run support. They give it off to the fullback, and that is Trey Price, and he's stuffed right at the goal line.
Pretty aggressive-looking defensive stand here, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, sir. 64, David Hudson in on the stop.
Boy, that ball is on.
The half-yard line right there. Actually, it's on the 6-inch line.
Yeah, it is on the 6-inch line.
Also, the linebacker Burton in the middle right there with a stop. Actually, that number 9, too, was in there. That was Tyler Snell. So they had several guys put a wall up there that Price was unable to crack. Shotgun, twin receivers either side. They give it off to Price going left. This time, he hurdles a man into the end zone. Touchdown, Northern Pulaski.
Pretty good job of a goal line stand, but you know it's pretty hard to stop anybody from the 6-inch line, let me tell you.
So Northern Pulaski turns the interception into points, and with 1:43 to play in the opening quarter, it's 6-0 Northern Pulaski, and they'll come up with a 2-point conversion to see what they can convert this into points. They go wing backs to either side. They play a little bit deeper with these wing backs. They're about a yard or so deep. They fake it. Polston looks, has Price open for the two-point conversion in the flats, and it's 8-0 in favor of Northern Pulaski.
Good job of taking that two-point conversion. They knew they were having trouble running the football down there, so they decided, well, we'll fake the run a little bootleg pass, and that receiver was open. Nice throw.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday that was the first time we've seen that formation. We didn't see it all day yesterday.
No, I don't think we saw that, no. I think that was one of those they drew up in the hotel room last night.
Could be something they just held on to until today.
Yeah.
So it's 8-0. Maroons in front early, and we're glad you're with us. White Greer Maggard, our title sponsor on the PrepSpin Sports Network. You can tweet us at PrepSpin or at Coach Meehan, and Meehan is spelled M-E-I-G-H-A-N. And you can give us a question, a comment, even ask us a trivia question, see if we know it.
Right.
Just our knowledge a little bit.
We can do some shout-outs for you.
Shout-outs for you. I got a shout-out, Coach, to Coach Steve Stonebreaker down in Casey County. They have the most wins in school history in his second go-round at Casey County. 9-1. Their only loss was a district championship title to Corbin.
And Corbin was loaded this year.
No shame in that.
No.
Coach Stonebreaker spent 5 years at Woodford County. He's been at Garrett County as a head coach. As I mentioned, he started his coaching career at Casey. He's listening and watching today. Give a shout-out to him, and good luck this week as they will host a playoff game for the first time in school history.
Good
on
coach,
Friday nights.
but a great man.
Yep. Only problem is, dadgummit, he's a Cubs fan too. I'm kidding. Steve, great guy and high energy. Boy, you talking about energy. Jeez. This is Martin off to the left side, and he gets tackled at about the 35. Might have eked out over the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Pretty hard run. That's a pretty good run.
You know, we talk about coaches. You have to be high energy. You have these coaches like, and we'll just throw out, Philip Haywood up at Belfry. He is a stoic, old-school kind of coach. He's, you don't see much emotion out of him, But then you have a guy like Coach Stonebreaker down at Casey. He walked 10 miles in the first quarter when I was down there a couple of weeks ago watching him play a game. So you have different styles, and it works for different coaches. They give it off to Martin on the zone read, and actually they don't even read it. It's just a zone play, and he gets over the left side for a couple at the 38-yard line. And on the tackle for the Maroons, it looks like number 55, Connor Lanter.
The Maroon platoon we're hearing over here. So
we see Pulaski Nation I've seen T-shirts made of. I've seen a couple others.
Little motion penalty.
Yeah. I'm trying to read this lady's T-shirt on the back. It says, some people wait their whole lives to meet the right player. It's amazing. You see great stuff at high school games, but boy, down at this middle school level, Coach, you will see interesting signs, T-shirts, just all kinds of things. A motion penalty against South Warren moves it back 5 yards. They give it off to Martin on the zone play to the left. He breaks the tackle. Will get near the 40, but it'll be well short of a first down for the Spartans. It'll bring up fourth and about 6, maybe a short 7. Actually, they're going to only give him a couple, so 4th and 8 for the Spartans.
Spartans are starting at quarterback Mason Willingham. Looks like a really good kid. Has pretty good fundamentals back there for a 7th grader.
A really good running quarterback we noticed that yesterday. He was real effective when he decided to run the ball. They center it to Willingham, looks down the left side, throws deep and over the head of his intended receiver, Burton. And Burton had to turn it into the defender as the Maroons almost picked off another pass. Actually, that is now 3rd down. Now it's 4th and 8.
Yeah, 47 for the Maroons in pretty good coverage.
That was Jericho Dixon.
And number 18 also down there.
Kate Sullivan, the safety, came over in support. And back to punt is Burton for South Warren. And they almost get it, and he kicks this one out of bounds. He made a right turn like right now.
It did. Yesterday we had a lot of wind going in the stadium. Today there's a little bit going left to right here.
Yeah. I was headed down to the car to get a fan, Coach. I never thought I'd say in October the 30th I would need a fan in a press box.
Halloween, need a fan for Halloween.
Yep, I guess. Never thought I would, but we may need it tomorrow night too. It'll be 1st and 10 for Northern Pulaski from the South Warren 48 as it only went about a 6-yard punt, but I don't think he was trying to kick it deep at all. He didn't want anything to do with the return man for Northern Pulaski.
No.
Polston at quarterback, drops to throw, has Price out in the open as the horn sounds in the quarter. A nice open field tackle by Burton. But, man, that is asking a lot of any middle linebacker at any level, Coach, to cover the back out of the backfield from the middle of that defense into the flat.
Yeah, it really is. It's really tough. I noticed pretty good pass blocking out there. 61 and 76, if you want to mention them.
Real
just
quickly,
really nice
61 is Ryan Dye. And you said 76.
71,
Devin,
I think.
71, 61 and 76. And you said Devin Wesley.
Yeah, Devin Wesley.
Into the first quarter here in Lexington. It's 8-0 Northern Pulaski over South Warren. Back with the second quarter in 30 seconds on the PrepSpin Sports Network.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Second quarter action underway as Polston goes back to throw. He gets cut off and decides to run the football as his receiver was not open, and he'll get the first down inside the 40 at the 37-yard line of the 38-yard line of South Warren. It'll be 1st and 10 for Northern Pulaski, leading 8-0 here. Second quarter just underway, 6:50 in the clock running.
Classy looking football team. Classy uniforms, classy looking team.
This is Golf, and he runs for another first down inside the 35 as the wind starts to pick up a little bit, Coach, here.
It is. What's the shout out, Williams?
Shout out to Zach Travis by Brown.
Shout out to Jack Travis.
Zach Travis.
Zach Travis.
Polston with running backs on either side, Price and Golf. They give it off to Golf, and he's
nice job.
Spun down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a couple.
Another little tough guy in there making tackles, number 9 for South Warren.
That is Chandler Godby.
Chandler came up there. I'm telling you what, I'm
These guys
very
are fearless,
impressed.
aren't
They're
they?
fearless.
It'll be second down and 11. They gave him a loss of 1. Polston rolling left, sets his feet, throws, has a man open, caught, 5, touchdown, Northern Pulaski.
Boy, I tell you what,
Matthew Shadowin.
There's a quarterback right there. Excellent job of rolling to his left, throwing with his right hand. Laid the ball up, got his feet set, got his shoulders turned around, a little aiming point with his front elbow, buddy, and just launched that ball perfectly.
Shadowin the reception, and they list on the roster as Shadowin a quarterback, so he's the backup to Polston, but on this afternoon he's a wide out who catches a pass from the quarterback, Polston.
Well, you got some athletes there. They do what they do.
It'll be 14-0, 2-point conversion coming. Receivers, twins to both sides. They throw across the middle, knocked away by number 85, Skylar Sharp Anthony Jenkins for South Warren. I forget we flip our rosters up here to be on the side that they're going to.
But, you know, Jenkins, we mentioned him yesterday, too,
Yep.
playing pretty good defense. That was a nice job of coverage for the two-point conversion.
He was in the hip pocket of the receiver coming across the middle and just reached across with his left hand and knocked it away. So with 5:43 to play, it's 14-0 Northern Pulaski.
Look at this South Warren team. You remember yesterday, you know, they could move the football pretty well.
Yeah.
And they like to do it with their quarterback. They were like running the football with the quarterback. We'll wait and see if they come up with a few wrinkles here.
Yeah, they were. Looks like today they were trying to get Martin started going with the running the football. Actually had Burton and the Wildcat on their opening possession. Right. And then to try to throw a pass, they just made a really nice defensive play. Did one of the Pulaski linebackers to intercept and set up the first score. And then the next time they actually had a short punt, turned it into points. But this South Warren team showed that they were just as explosive offensively as they are stout defensively. They won't go down without a fight. I'll tell you that, though. That's for sure.
Well, they're going to be in the game here. We'll see. We'll see what they come up with.
Kicking off will be Price for Northern Pulaski, and he has it teed up, and
a little offsides.
We've seen that more this weekend than anything else on kickoffs.
Yeah, that's a little procedure on the kickoff. You just, you know, you get too excited and you step across that line before the ball's kicked. Then we got a little 5-yard penalty.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Maroons.
To the advantage of South Warren.
And back deep here on the near side is Martin coming up in that dead area where Price had just kicked the last kickoff. And on the other side on the hash mark is Burton. And now the wind blows the ball off the tee.
It sure did, and it's blowing it down the field about 5 yards.
It goes here about the same time every day, though.
Yeah, it seems like.
About the third game yesterday, we had the wind kick up, and Price is asking the official if somebody needs to hold it, and the party is number 64.
Yeah, they took a vote, and he said, I don't want to hold it. You just put it on the tee.
Actually, they're going to let him put it on the tee. Actually, the rule is the first time you can still kick it without a holder. The next time it happens, you have to – actually, the guy kicking it off this time is Williams. Martin will pick it up. Nope. Roll right between the wickets.
It did. It rolled right between his legs. He probably looked up at the last second to see what kind of pressure he was going to get. And the ball rolled between his legs.
And everybody's done that as a kick returner one time. Looked up to see where the coverage team was.
You'll see that. You'll see that in the college ranks a lot. You know,
I saw an NFL
bobbles.
guy this morning step on the football before he picked one.
Hey, how did that game? I didn't even catch any of that game.
Actually, just woke up long enough, turned TV on,
forgot all about it.
Part of it, and went back to sleep.
I forgot all about it. Bengals.
1st and 10 from the 35. South Warren trailing 14-0. The Spartans with the football. Burton is the wing back to the right. Martin to the left of the quarterback.
Oh, man. There's nothing there.
They gave it off to Martin, and there was absolutely no room to run.
Penetration is just murder to these zone plays and these power plays. You get penetration on the defensive line, the defensive end's coming down hard.
And that's at every level, not just this level.
Yeah, you can't get anything started. It's up to your offensive lineman to maybe zone block these things or gap block them even, try to get some room.
I think that was 59. That was in on the tackle, Aiden Wesley for the Maroons from his left defensive tackle spot. They move Martin to the right of the quarterback, trips to the right, tight end back to the left. That's a lateral pass out to Martin, got a hole and lowers the boom and gets up over the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Brought down, though, by Clayton Harness.
That was a nice job of running the football. He caught the ball and just lowered his shoulders and ran over somebody. Made it a manageable 3rd down.
That'll be 3rd and 5 now from the 40-yard line for the Spartans of South Warren High School. If you're not familiar with where that would be Bowling Green, Warren County, down in the western part of the state.
That is a football area.
Oh, boy. Pretty good football player came out of there back in the day, back in the 80s.
There he is.
That is Willingham. He's going to get 3. He'll be a couple of yards short, gets up to the 43. Played little fullback at the University of Kentucky. Got hurt, though. A shoulder injury kept him limited him pretty much to about really a good 3.5-year career. Damon Hood.
Oh, I remember that name. And I'll tell you another one. A guy that worked with me as an assistant coach now. He's a coach here at Bryan Station, Cisco Bryant.
Yeah,
played at Bowling Green.
Yes, sir.
And I think, I may be wrong, but my friend Cisco Bryant might have been Mr. Football and Mr. Baseball or something like that. He did something crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Player of the Year or something.
Very flamboyant personality, too.
Oh, he's very good football coach, by the way.
A turnover as the snap, or the handoff actually got bobbled, and Willingham unable to get the football back, and he comes up limping, does the quarterback for South Warren. Now the Maroons get the football back on the turnover, so 2 turnovers against South Warren. One has been turned into points already by Northern Pulaski.
Yeah, and you're giving Northern Pulaski the football in good field position again here, and that's not a good idea.
It will start the drive from the 43-yard line, will the Maroons. 3:32 to play before halftime. This is the championship game of the 7th grade division of the Kentucky Middle School Football Association playoffs. Polston throws out here to Goff in the flat. Needs a block, gets a stiff arm and breaks a shirt tackle of Martin and gets the first down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, right on the nose. Does Goff get the first down?
And we talked about that before. You can't do these tackles where you grab with your hands, grab
Right.
shirts and so on. These kids, even though they're 7th graders, they're very powerful in their legs. You've got to wrap them up and bring them down.
3:15 clock rolling. Northern Pulaski with a 2-touchdown lead right now. Swinging out to Price in the flat on the other side. Jukes gets in the space. Inside the 20, 10, 5. Bumped out of bounds at the 3. And Martin came from all the way over from his left outside linebacker's position to bump Price out of bounds.
Yeah, he did.
4, actually.
That's a long run. I mean, he came away from the other side from corner all the way across the field, lowered the shoulder, and knocked him out of bounds. And, boy, you got to appreciate that effort, but also appreciate this passing offense that they've developed.
Well, they're not really throwing the ball downfield. It's just these little swing passes and screens out in the flat.
Yeah, they're like sweeps. Like in the old days, we used to run sweeps by pitching the ball, and they just wait. He gets out there and throws it to him.
Price goes out in motion. They give it off on the run to Goff. He breaks the tackle to 4 and goes in diving. Hit first into the end zone, 20-0 Northern Pulaski.
Did a nice job running the ball. He bobbled the ball a little bit on that first contact, but he held on to it and went in the end zone. Very impressive drive, Darren.
Broke the tackle of Burton at the 4, and once he did that, there were no other white shirts in the area, Coach. And this Northern Pulaski team, a nice little mix of run and pass.
Absolutely, the Maroons.
I would be afraid not to for that Pulaski fan.
Yeah.
You hear him in the end zone, they get him in, and he goes in untouched, and we get a flag on the far side. Actually, the umpire threw it, so that's usually in the area of holding. So we'll have to redo the try.
Take a look at the white hat here, see what he has to say.
Actually, dead ball, personal foul against South Warren.
On the kickoff.
On the kickoff, the 2-point conversion is good. So with 2:56 to play before halftime, it's Northern Pulaski 22, South Warren nothing. Back with a kickoff here, as we'll keep it actually right here, I guess. Coach, I can do this real quick while we're at it. Our title sponsor along the PrepSpin Sports Network is White Greer and Maggard. Our title sponsor, they have done involved with us for the last 3 or so years, and they do a great job in the community, and we appreciate all the help they give to do what we do, because if it wasn't for sponsors like White Greer and Maggard, we would not be here.
That's exactly right.
Bluegrass Orthopedics, they provide the training staff here. We've seen them a little too often for our liking. We would much rather they be like the Maytag repairman and just be available if necessary, but unfortunately we've had some guys that haven't needed it.
But let's be perfectly clear to people watching. These injuries were minor. Those players, just about every one of them, came back in the football game. The training staff was out there. Bluegrass Orthopedics were out there. Again, I've said it before, they err on the side of caution. They take really good care of these kids.
And if there was any kind of doubt, then that player would have been held out. What do we have here? Oh, yeah. We've got a coach.
A coach escorting another coach off the field.
And I don't know why.
I don't either.
Or
I hope he's a coach or is he a fan?
I have no idea.
Coach. Maybe the head coach is escorting somebody.
I don't have a clue, but we do not want to see stuff like that.
That's just a fan. No, that's a coach.
I mean, I think it might be a fan of some type. I have no idea.
Well, if he's a coach and he was ejected, he'll have to leave the stadium.
Yeah,
if it's a fan, then he'll just go sit with his
We hate to
peeps.
see things like this happen here in a situation like this with an amateur event, but wow.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's music after he threw up the fingers.
He's being ejected.
Yeah, I think he's going to be asked to leave.
He's ejected. They're escorting. They're getting him out of here. There's 2 security guards over there now.
Actually, those are
policemen.
Yes, sir.
Lexington's finest.
Yes, sir.
Now we got a little conversation going on the field too.
Yeah, I don't have a clue what we've got going on, and we have members of the Kentucky Middle School Football Association Board of Directors out there to take care of that. We'll get other things straightened out, and
let's play some football, boys. Come on, we don't need these adults causing problems.
Unfortunately, we see too many instances where we see things like that at youth sporting events where we have adults not being very good examples for our young people. Well, Northern Pulaski on the 2-point conversion, there was a personal foul on South Warren, and Northern Pulaski will be kicking from the South Warren side of the midfield stripe, and we'll get maybe our first deeper kickoff, although this is usually where you will see more of the squib kicks and to the things like the onside kicks and things like that. The ball blows off the tee yet again, Coach, and an unfortunate circumstance here in a ball game where kids will be kids and things like that.
That's a nice kick all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Martin picks it up and is tackled right at the 15-yard line. On the tackle for Northern Pulaski was 64, Leighton Abbott.
Good coverage, wasn't it? Really good coverage. Leighton is pretty easy to spot. He has pink socks on and pink, I guess they're arm guards. I don't know what they are. They're just sleeves.
All the sleeves, yeah.
Obviously, October 30th, it's Breast Cancer Aware Month, and appreciate that kind of attention.
They give it off again to Martin, and he battles forward and kept those legs churning a little bit and got up over the 15, maybe just the 16-yard line. So maybe a gain of only 2.
Yeah, good defense in there by a host of Yeah. Well, we got some excited fans down here, I'll tell you. Rather noisy.
As it's under 2:20 to play in the first half, 22-0 Northern Pulaski. So with 2:10 to play, clock running, South Warren looking for something positive right now, Coach. Been all Maroons here in the opening half. Willingham back to throw. He has a man open. He'll throw it up and get pass interference.
Yeah, I believe so.
Number 88. They came up on coverage. That was on Clayton Harness. Got there before the football did. The intended receiver was who? Number 4? And Willingham, the quarterback, is shaken up. Didn't see what happened back there. Did you, Coach?
No, he just got hit after he threw the ball. Number 18 was on the coverage, doing really well.
Right.
But like you said, 88 came in a little bit early and got the got the interference penalty.
Harness called for pass interference. It was a clean hit. He just got there a little too early.
Yes, he did.
If you would 18 is Cade Sullivan, who has the cornerback on coverage, and the Willingham, the quarterback, is down for South Warren. We'll give you an update on his status. Hopefully he'll be able to walk. Looked like he took maybe a shot in the back.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Again, the training staff's out there, Bluegrass Orthopedics out there. He should be well taken care of.
Asking him some questions. The young man evidently giving them answers, so that's always a good sign.
Here's a message from our friends at Bluegrass Orthopedics.
We have a tweet from Bluegrass Orthopedics.
Yeah, we got a commercial.
Oh, we'll give a timeout then as the training staff from Bluegrass Orthopedics.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
All S, all P, all O, R-T-S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White Greer and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White Greer and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White.
Quarterback for South Warren up on his feet and walking off, albeit slowly, but on his feet and under his own power. Mason Willingham for South Warren. Hit as he threw the football, and looks like he may feel just maybe a little discomfort in maybe the back area where he got hit from the backside. But a first down for South Warren. They'll go to the Wildcat with their quarterback on the sideline right now. Burton behind center, has Martin behind him. He turns, throws across the middle, intercepted. And headed the other way is Northern Pulaski's Clayton Harness, number 88, and he takes it back to the house for the touchdown.
I'll tell you what, that's tough when you bring a new quarterback in and give him that first opportunity to throw the football. And his first opportunity is an interception for a touchdown. That's rough.
Well, his
that
receiver
is really rough.
Never got his head around to see the football, Anthony Jenkins, and they were looking for him on what could be that little seam route or a little pop pass, depending on what you call it, from the tight end spot. And Burton was in the Wildcat. That's one of the running backs that ran really well for the Spartans yesterday, and it's 28-0 here in the first half. Northern Pulaski, and I think we're going to get South Warren to call timeout.
Yeah, Mason Willingham on the sideline over there on the bench. I was watching the trainers work with him, and they're rubbing his lower back.
Yeah.
Looks like he probably got a shot in the back a little bit, and he's trying to shake it off. He's a tough kid, but they're with him, and they're going to make sure he's okay.
It was nothing dirty. He was just hit as he was throwing the football. And when you get that backside, exposed to a defender, whether you're a left-handed or right-handed quarterback, you are, I wouldn't say defenseless, but you are not in a very good position to protect yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And the quarterbacks know that. They know their responsibility back there is to hold that ball if they have to the last second to throw it.
Right.
And, that's in every phase of the game. Admire these little guys. I admire these little 7th grade quarterbacks because they're asked to do a whole lot of things that in the past, I know, growing up and so on, 7th grade quarterbacks were not asked to do.
Right. And I know when I played quarterback in middle school, we played in the wishbone. I was just asked to turn and hand it off.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean,
at that point in time, the title game manager was not just totally in vogue, and I wound up being technically a game manager.
Crystal, Margaret, Rachel, and Brittany are watching their favorite player, Braden Gibson from Salyersville.
Oh, nice pass, wide open receiver in the corner of the end zone. No one around it.
And for Northern Pulaski, Polson hits number 28. That is Zach Travis for the 2-point conversion.
Well, I tell you what, that's amazing. This is the second game now that we've done where one team is totally dominating the other team.
Well, Northern Pulaski's been here. It's been at least 2 or 3 years since they've been in this game, particularly the championship game. And you can understand why this Pulaski the Pulaski County High School football program is in pretty good hands. So.
Oh, man, I tell you, we had a little problem with an adult. We're not going to mention it, obviously. It just doesn't deserve attention here in this game where we're honoring these tremendous 7th grade football players. But these kids are out here playing football, and that's what we want to do. We want to watch them play football.
And understandably so. You want your kids to do well. You're competitive. You hope they win and stuff like that. But nowhere in youth sports is a bad adult behavior kosher.
Right.
As Price will kick off again, he'll kick this one deep, and it goes between Burton and Martin will pick it up here on the near hash. He angles off to the left side. They're going right for a couple of yards, and then gets it over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Good field position here to move the football. We're seeing some there. My cohort, Darren Douglas here, there's a wind coming in, and it just blew some of his, I don't know what it was.
It actually blew our sponsorship list out the window.
I bet somebody passes it back here sooner or later, but maybe we'll see.
It took off. And
it did take off.
A young man right now with a Seattle Seahawks hat going after it for us, I do believe. Yes, sir. Look at that.
He's going to come
He's going to bring it right here to me. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, come here for a second. There you go. Talk to the young man.
Thank you. Can I have your name?
Blake Abbott.
Blake Abbott. I assume you're a Seahawks fan?
Yes.
Cool. And you are how old?
11.
11. I assume you're a student in Northern Pulaski?
No, my cousin's playing.
Your cousin's playing. Okay. Well, I cover Georgetown College. You got anything you want me to ask Riley Hall, who's the starting quarterback for the Tigers right now? Former quarterback at Pulaski County. I got an idea. Think about it. Come back and tell me at halftime. How about that?
All right, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Save my list. Guaranteed now the young man's got something to talk about. I go down. Hey, Mom, guess what? I got on the radio. I bet he won't stop talking down there. Couldn't get 2 words out of him here. Not a kid, a few words, but I like the fact that guess what? He went right down. Nobody even asked him. Goes down, brings it right up to us.
Very polite young man.
Yes, sir.
Extremely.
Meanwhile, we have action still on the ball field. We missed a couple plays, Coach, but it's going to be 3rd down now and long for South Warren.
It's all part of the atmosphere and adventure of PrepSpin.com.
Yes, sir.
You had them until you said Georgetown, though.
Ah. Well, hey, a young man from right down in that area is the starting quarterback as a true freshman at Georgetown College, which is a pretty good, well-known name, not only in Kentucky but around the country for NAIA football.
Trips to the left side, way out here.
And then we've got the tight end back to the right and Martin to the left of Burton, who's still in at quarterback. And Burton will take it on the quarterback draw. Looks like he's got the first down up over the 45 in the neighborhood of the 47. They'll give him enough yardage for the first down. First down, South Warren.
A lot of good football teams do what they just did. Spread them out. They get a little time out here with 0.7 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, they're going to try to get one more play here. And
a lot of times, when you see that, when they spread the whole formation out with really, really wide outs, the quarterback's going to run the football. You play zone out there, and hopefully you catch them in man-to-man. If you catch them in man-to-man, the receivers don't have to block. They just have to run down the field.
Yep, take their guy with them, and you look around, and I see Willingham still over on the bench over there with shoulder pads and jersey still on, and keeps kind of readjusting himself in his sitting position like that. Back may be bothering him still a little bit.
I believe that's it. He's trying to sit up straight, but another tough kid, I'll tell you what.
And I can say this, being a former player, and you probably can too, Coach, when you get injured and get one that's kind of uncomfortable and kind of makes it tough to talk or something, the last thing you want to do is ask a lot of questions. But a lot of his teammates coming over and asking questions. So
what you want, all you want to say is, I'm all right, I'm all right.
Yeah. And you do it, and you don't mean anything by it, but usually you're kind of gruff with your teammates because you're like, I'm trying to get back out there. Leave me alone. Burton will throw it on first down. He'll roll right, looking deep, throws it up, has a man out there, and it's incomplete. Looking for one of your dynamos there, Coach.
One of my little guys.
I think it's
tough guys.
Tyler Steenberger. Or Steenbergen, I should say. And Northern Pulaski up 30-0 here at the halftime break. And we'll be back here at halftime of this one a little bit later. So we're going to give ourselves a little timeout break to do some housekeeping here, straighten up, try to find some stuff again here. So at halftime, Northern Pulaski over South Warren 30-0. Back with more of the 7th grade state championship game on the PrepSpin Sports Network.
White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
All S, all P, all O, R-T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall and allsportslex.com, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
All S, all P, all O, R-T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Gatorade. I don't care what color.
Welcome back to Bryan Station High School on a glorious early fall. I mean, wait a minute, mid-fall.
Yeah, late fall, actually.
Here in Central Kentucky, it's hard to believe. Darren Douglas, Mike Meehan, that, Coach, this is October the 30th.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have an 80-degree day in Central Kentucky.
Halloween tomorrow.
Ridiculous.
The little urchins will be happy to be outside getting candy tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Coach, you got some stats here in the first half, and it's going to be heavily in favor of the Maroons.
Yeah, it really is. 30-0 at halftime with a really powerful offensive performance. Turnovers will hurt you. We talked about that before. First downs, 6 first downs for North Pulaski, 2 first downs for South Warren. Passing yardage, South Warren only threw 1 pass, and 1 yard, for them. 83 yards in passing for Northern Pulaski, which is really impressive. South Warren completed 1 pass, 1 out of 5 for 2 yards, had 2 interceptions. And, of course, I think Northern Pulaski 16 maybe for 114 yards. That's pretty good. Total, they had 5 passes for 5 yards, no interceptions. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Total offensive plays, 16 plays for 26 yards for South Warren, and a very impressive 16 plays for 114 yards for Northern Pulaski. We had neither team lost any fumbles. Penalties, 3 penalties for 22 yards for South Warren and 3 penalties for 25 yards for Northern Pulaski. Time of possession, about 8 minutes and change for South Warren and 5 minutes and 47 seconds for North Pulaski. Some individual statistics for you. First of all, for South Warren, Kobe Martin rushing 6 carries for 16 yards. Luke Burton, 3 carries for 10 yards. Mason Willingham, the quarterback, 2 carries for 3 yards. Took a pretty good lick back in the end zone, throwing a pass out. Looked like he hurt his lower back. They took him to the sideline. He got up and walked over there. He's a little hurting a little bit, but he should be all right. For North Pulaski, Corbin Goff, very impressive. 4 carries for 18 yards. Braden Gibson, 1 carry for 5. Drew Polson, 2 carries for 5. And Barrick Williams, 2 carries for 4. Take a look at the passing real quick. Luke Burton for South Warren, 1 for 3 yards. 3 attempts, 1 completion, and 1 interception. Mason Willingham, 0, 2 attempts, 1 interception. Drew Paulson for North Pulaski, 5 attempts, 5 completions, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown. Receivers, Anthony Jenkins for South Warren, caught 1 pass, didn't get much on it, a yard maybe. North Pulaski, Trey Price, 2 catches for 37 yards. Matthew Shandon, it's probably Shandon, 1 catch for 25 yards. Zach Travis, 1 for 11, and Corbin Goff, 1 for 10. Pretty good job all the way down for North Pulaski. They seem to have dominated statistics. As far as tackles go, Leighton Abbott, we mentioned him several times, has 4 tackles. Barrick Williams has 3 tackles. Clayton Harns 3, and Brennan Gibson 2. Pretty good job over there. On the other hand, Luke Burton has 5 tackles. Luke has really been the machine on defense for South Warren, involved in many, many defensive plays. Tyler Snell, really good job there also. Pretty impressive performance again, like we said, by the North Pulaski football team. Darren, they dominated just about every statistic.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And we came out this morning. Got here about 11:30 or so, and there was a ton of cars in the parking lot. Of course, for the first game, New Harlan brought another wave of fans in that came in from Harlan County after the win yesterday for the Patriots. And of course, we had a lot of action and activity. They were selecting the East-West All-Stars for not only the 8th grade, but the 7th grade games that will be played the weekend of Thanksgiving. So it'll be like Saturday down at Kentucky State University in Frankfort. If you've never been, you need to come. Even if you don't have a kid on the team or a player representing your school that you've been following, it'll be a great time to do that. Check out PrepSpin or the Kentucky Youth Middle School Football Association's Facebook page for times and dates and all that stuff. And then Team Kentucky will play in a region that features Ohio, Indiana, I think Tennessee, Illinois. It's like a region of 8 different states. And somebody said, well, that doesn't sound fair to Kentucky. But guess what? Team Kentucky, the very first year they were in this, went to the Alamo Dome for the national semifinals.
Nice, very good.
So
that's pretty good. Hey, let me ask you this real quick before we get involved in this game. You mentioned something that I don't know anything about, tryouts. What sort of things do they do with these tryouts?
They're looking at skills. I mean, how they will fit in whoever's coaching that particular team. Now, the East-West game, they just kind of look at skills and try to match up the two teams to where it'll be a really competitive all-star game, and they'll split them up into halves of the state to an East and a West. And it's a really fun time the first time I had it. And I just half-heartedly threw out a jokingly to one of the board members a couple of years ago and said, why don't you try to see if KSU's marching band will perform at halftime in one of the games? And then, lo and behold, he said, hey, that's not a bad idea. And if you've never seen the KSU marching band, my goodness gracious, they are fun to watch. I'm fortunate where I live in Versailles, we have them every year in the Christmas parade. And everybody, of course, festive time anyway, but boy, when they see the green and the gold uniforms of the KSU marching band, the crowd erupts.
Yeah, they're really talented.
And they are a whole lot of fun just to deal with that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's just a whole lot of fun to see those guys. And that East-West All-Star game, I've seen guys that went on to star at the high school level, and I'll throw out a couple of names from Williamsburg. They actually made the state championship, the boys state Sweet 16 in basketball, made the state football finals in 2 years for the Class A level. The Williamsburg Yellow Jackets, a guy by the name of Skylar Griffith and Dalton Rose Creekmore.
I've heard that name before. Yeah.
I'm telling you, talking about a good football team. That was a good football team. There was a kid so those are just two of the kids that are now playing at the college level. I think one of them's playing football, one's playing basketball. They were 3 sports stars at Williamsburg. So, I mean, you see that kind of thing at this level. So, it's a good time to have. And if you get a chance to come down for the East-West All-Star game and stuff like that, then that's a good time to do that. Second half underway, and it goes off of a Northern Pulaski player at the 50 who had dove over to try to corral the opening kickoff. And then number 9, who you are very high on for South Warren, that is Tyler Snell, unable to corral it for it went out of bounds.
Yeah, number 9, number 15. He's my buddy, I tell you what. Yeah, he's Mighty Mouse over there.
He got one over here on the left corner, just as
right.
Diminutive Evan, the C22 is Ethan Goss.
Ethan Goss, and both of those guys get involved quite often in the play.
So here comes Polston at quarterback. And again, 7-minute quarters for the 7th grade. As we look down to the left, boy, and Bowling Green just rolling in with their football unit to the left. Impressive teams you see up here, Coach, physically. I think that was the biggest shock when you saw some of these guys.
100%.
Polston will roll left, looking, in trouble. Down he goes.
Good job. Good tackle. 44 came flying on the backside.
Jake Jackson, but the play made by his teammate, number 19, Dylan Horn, in there. And actually, number 9 that we were talking about a while ago, Tyler Snell, both forced him back inside when they set the edge, which allowed their teammate Jackson to come in to make the play from the backside.
Nice size nose guard in there, boy. I tell you what.
Is that 50? I see a 5 here on the one side.
I do too, but he's a big guy.
And he's right on the nose.
56.
Yep, they give it off to Price. Burton has him by the shirt tail, and none of his teammates could get to him to help.
Yeah, he was just swinging him around saying, come on, guys, give me a hand over here.
Holding on for all he was worth, and that big guy that you were talking about, Zach Goodwin, got in on the tackle there at the end.
He's a big guy, I'll tell you.
I tell you what, he's got a good foundation with those feet, what are they, 12s, Coach?
It could be.
That's some big ones there. You know, it just amazes me. I don't remember when I was growing up at this age, kids being this big. I really don't. I mean, I'm sure we had a couple maybe here or there, but they're more prevalent these days. They give it off to Price. Big hole right side. Breaks the tackle to 35. Into the secondary. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Northern Pulaski.
There was no question about that. When he broke the line of scrimmage, it was over from the beginning. There were a couple, he shrugged off a couple tackles, but he has nice speed, nice acceleration, and he hit that corner of that end zone quickly.
He broke the tackle of number 44 we were talking about a moment ago, Jackson, and it was just easy from there. For all his heart, though, Ethan Gross couldn't bring him down either.
No.
He went low. He just, by that time, Price had a head of steam, and Gross kind of bounced off a little bit.
Another one of those really good running backs that we've seen in the last couple of days. Touchdown, Matthew Brown, and now
he's had the performance of the final playoffs, semis and finals here. They throw it out wide, and the completion is good to number 28. Zach Travis with a 2-point conversion. So it's Northern Pulaski 38 and South Warren nothing, with 5:27 to play here in the third quarter. So the running clock comes in for the second game in a row, Coach.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Most of the time it's a good thing. The only complaint I've ever heard about the running clock, you get a running clock when one team is 36 points ahead or more. Sometimes what happens, another team will catch on, score maybe 21 points, and you're still using a running clock. I don't know if they've ever adjusted that in any other states or what.
Yeah, I don't know how you would adjust it and keep the clock keepers, because most clock keepers in most schools are volunteering their time, and they may be privy to the rules and things, the way the clock runs and operates during the course of a game management. But boy, you talking about confusing up in the press box after that.
Yeah, I know that it would be too complicated to come up with some sort of a formula for when you can turn the clock back on to stop it when you're supposed to. But whatever. I mean, right now it's running this way, and we're going to follow this football game. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that South Warren gets something going here.
Well, we need to, we haven't seen the South Warren team we saw yesterday.
No, not at all.
They kick it off. Burton this time here on the near side has it. He has a block, gets around the corner, breaks the tackle at the 42. He's into Northern Pulaski territory, 30, 25, 20. A guy trying to chase him down.
All right,
Made
good
a dive
job.
with the legs, but he didn't get him, and Burton is gassed now.
Yes, he's gassed. He lost. He got tripped up and he lost his balance, but he wasn't going to be denied there. He said, "I'm going to get in that end zone one way or another." Burton did a nice job.
The last guy had a shot at him was Cade Sullivan, number 18, and
man.
he came from all the way across the field. He was the end guy on the far side, or the guy that you don't want anybody to get outside of. And he chased him down from across the field, made a dive at him at the 5, and got a piece of him. Just didn't get enough of him to knock him off.
I think it was a pretty good timeout here. South Warren called a timeout. And what reason do you think they called the timeout?
I guarantee he's get Burton some
I do too.
time to get his breath back.
They gave him, I tell you what, he ran a mile down the field.
75 yards did Burton go, and I tell you what, guess what I would have done? I'd have died at about the 30.
Yeah, well, there.
I'd have blown a tire right there.
Well, maybe now, but not when you were that age. They had all kinds of energy back then.
Believe it or not, Coach, I was not very fast back in the day.
It's all right being fast.
That was a little slow thing.
It's perseverance, brother.
That's true.
That's perseverance. You've got to get to the end zone, and that's what impressed me. He knew that guy had the angle. Mm-hmm. He knew it.
I tell you what, Sullivan made up some ground from across the way.
He did. And Sullivan dove at him when he clipped his ankle. Burton just said, "Oh, no, I'm getting in. I didn't run all this way for nothing. I'm getting in this end zone."
Burton's a big fella.
That was really a wonderful play.
A wonderful play from Burton, a good effort from Sullivan. And it's 38-6 with 5:12 to play in the game. I don't know why they stopped the clock, Mac. Or Mac, I called you. Mac, I'm so used to working with Mac Calvert.
Yeah, they were on that all the way.
So with 5:12 to play in the ball game, or in the third quarter, it's Northern Pulaski now 38 and South Warren 6. And we'll keep it right here, William, and we'll take a break.
Let's keep it right here. Let's talk a little bit about Mac. Mac is a guy you've worked with. Well, first of all, I don't mind being called Mac, and I'll tell you why. I had a really, really good friend, a friend of our family, a nanny to our kids. She passed away years ago, but she was from Benham, Kentucky, down there in the Harlan area.
Okay.
And she called me Matt because that's the way she said Mike.
Okay.
Matt, how you doing? And so I'm happy with that. It reminds me of Janie Robinette, one of my very favorite people.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm referring to my good friend. Our good friend Gary Ball, feeling much better this weekend.
Good.
Under the weather a little bit. That's what you said. He was feeling better, but I don't know how any bug could get to Gary. He's always on the go, moving around and things. But Matt Calvert is my longtime partner down at Woodford County, and we worked together. And it's hard to believe when we were sitting down for the first game back in August. This is our 31st year together working in some shape, form, or fashion.
What's that?
31 years. Only William would know that. We're too old to know that, Coach, about this rap music.
I like some of it. I do.
Yeah.
I like poetry, and a lot of it is poetry. Now, a lot of it is not. A lot of it's vulgarity, but I'm pretty good with the poetry
New
part.
guy in kicking for South Warren is 66. That's Connor Mays. And now, here we go the other way. Northern Pulaski going the other way. Touchdown Maroons. That's 83, Braden Gibson.
We have sometimes criticized the officials a little bit, but I'm impressed with the way the officials handled that return. It was a short kick. And when that ball was picked up, the official on that side did his job. He completely ran down the field with the return man. Behind him, about 20 yards, was the other official, probably the one that was behind the kicking team, the receiving team.
Right.
He followed up behind. His eyes never left the field. He was looking for blocks behind the back and so on.
And that's when you hope you don't run into something that you're not looking at, right?
And the referee kept his position, and everybody looked at where they were supposed to look. Very impressed. These guys do a really good job most of the time.
There's that coach coming out of you most of the time.
Most of the time.
I had to think for a minute. I said, did I hear that right? Yeah, I did. He said most of the time.
Most of the time.
44-6. They give it off to Harness for the 2-point conversion.
A little belly second back through again on that wishbone that you like so well.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
It's hard to stop it.
Oh, it is.
You have to honor the first back,
right.
The fullback.
And I talked about in one of our long trips down, Matt Coward and I used to seem like Woodford would beat Meade County forever in the 3A playoffs in the first round or the second round, and we'd always have to go to Brandenburg. They never came to us. It's always we went to Brandenburg, and when Larry French was down there, and they ran the heck out of that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac and I counted one time, just on one series, they ran it 7 straight times. Now they alternated the line, the side of the line and the gap, but they ran it 7 consecutive times, and everybody in the Woodford County coaching staff in the booth was screaming, "It was coming! It was coming! It was coming!" And you may know it's coming, but if you don't get your gap responsibility from your linemen, and then the linebackers fill the hole that needs to be filled, it doesn't matter how long it's coming, you're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah. And Larry French is back in Pulaski County coaching
Pulaski
right now.
Down at Southwestern, the Warriors, 2 of my favorite nicknames for their athletic facilities. The football field's called the Reservation, and the gymnasium, the PP.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I love it. But Larry is one of those guys, he's a lifer. He'll be around. He and Philip Haywood are 2 guys that you might have to, they may have it in their wills when they pass away to bury him right on the 50-yard line somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are 2 of those guys that if their health and the enthusiasm holds out, they'll be around forever. They kick it short.
Oh.
It goes right over the left arm of Martin, who goes back and falls on it.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best move to make. You realize that there was people chasing him down from behind. It's a good idea to try to get on it rather than pick it up, cause another turnover.
True, and he had his back to him, so he doesn't know how close they are, so he could bend over, pick it up, and turn around, and somebody be staring him square in the eyes.
Yeah, the Maroons have dominated every phase of the game. Kickoff returns, offense, defense, everything so far. And we are in a running clock. I don't know whether they run it after a score or not. They did not run it after that score.
Well, they have been stopping at both scores, so I don't know.
they figure maybe that's too much time, a minute, each time.
Yeah, but maybe they forgot it is the running clock at 36 because when they first implemented this, Coach, wasn't it like 42?
Yeah.
It
was too high, yeah.
I think 36 is probably somewhere in the neighborhood it should be.
Uh-huh.
Clock running, though. We're under 4 to play in the third. 46-6, Northern Pulaski. Willingham, that's a good sign. The young man back in there.
Good. He's just right back in after taking that lick in the back.
Took a couple of series off, and now he jogs to the sidelines. This is what tires me out, watching him sprint back and forth between the coach and the huddle.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking. I think we do have some subs in there maybe on defense. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like number 6 here on the near side defensively for Northern Pulaski. That's Jared Smith.
Right. What about
the
55?
Right here
55.
Is Chandler Gobby, number 9. 55 is Connor Lanner. He's in there at left defensive tackle. They throw it down. Willingham does to Jenkins. We're going to pass interference on Godby.
Yeah, Godby kind of got in front of him and prevented him from getting to the ball, impeded his progress to the football. Let's put it that way.
Even at the middle school level, they'll turn around to the referee and throw the hands up going, what did I do?
Yeah, what did I do?
It happens at every level. Also, 17 is in there. That's Matthew Shadowin. He's called a touchdown pass today. 14 is 47. I see out there. Jericho Dixon. Is there a 35? That'd be Connor Haste. I think he's the left defensive tackle, and I mentioned Connor Lanner. He's at the right defensive tackle. 33 is Goff. He's in over there at the left outside linebacker. 26 is Barrick Williams. He's in at a linebacker spot. They throw it deep and over the head of the intended receiver, Joshua Thompson.
I don't know if you have sizes. You probably don't for South Warren, but number 68 is at center. And he is small. No, he's small.
Small? Let's see, 68?
68 at center.
Have number 40 in there, it's actually 46 coming out. That was Jacob Smith for Northern Pulaski. Got another defensive tackle here on the right side for Northern Pulaski. See if you pick the number, Coach.
$96.
Throws behind Burton. Does Willingham. It'll be 3rd and 10. 96, that's Jacob Wilburn for the
He's a big old guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty fair-sized young man, isn't he? Still in at safety is 88, Clayton Harness. Who's that left linebacker? Oh, that's 26. That is Barrick Williams. Sending in 85, Skylar Sharp for Northern Pulaski. His own personal fan club right here below us, Coach.
I think so.
21 is also in on the left side. Carter Kring on the outside as the corner. That is knocked away at the last minute by number, was that 18 over there? Kate Sullivan.
Kate Sullivan. Yeah, Sullivan did a good job of timing that. It was actually right on time.
Yep, and the receiver I think they were looking for was Burton again. 4th and 10 for the Spartans of South Warren. 48 seconds, clock running here in the third. All Northern Pulaski, 46-6 in this. They send Martin in motion from left to right. Now they're sending Burton in motion. They give him on the jet sweep. He darts in, darts out. Now is the first down and thrown out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
Really good job, isn't it? Ran a jet sweep to perfection. Got around the corner. The edge wasn't set and got the first down. And that was a good first down for them because they were really, really struggling to get this yardage.
And I think that was as the end of the third quarter comes here. Coach, I've never seen two guys sent in motion the same direction in different timing of that play to get off. Have you ever seen that?
Periodically I have. It's just a matter of trying to get the right kind of positioning on your blocks.
1 quarter to play before we crown a 7th grade championship team here in the Kentucky Middle School Football Association State Playoffs. It's Northern Pulaski in control of this one, 46-6 over South Warren. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the PrepSpin Sports Network. Back here at R.L. Grider Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky, on the campus of Bryan Station High School. Fourth quarter action in South Warren and White moving left to right now, trailing 46-6. Willingham looking downfield for Martin, caught it at the 25, 10, breaks the tackle and goes in standing.
Very impressive on the pass play. Oh, Willingham, Willingham was down and out in that first half. They had to help him off the field. He sat on the bench, had ice on his back, and now here he comes back in, throwing perfect passes down the middle of the field.
A really nice throw and a nice catch. And then I believe that was 85, Skylar Sharp, who got a hold of Martin by the shirt tail, but just couldn't pull him down. Martin broke the tackle and went in standing up for a touchdown. It's 46-12 with 6:47 to play in the ball game. Willingham rolls right, throws. Nice diving catch by Jenkins, and got his hands underneath of it.
Nice job, really nice job. Willingham threw the ball out there kind of low, but Jenkins got underneath it and made the catch.
So with a 2-point conversion, the score now is Northern Pulaski 46 and South Warren 14. And Northern Pulaski will be receiving when we come back to action here. You mentioned before we went to the break, Coach Meehan, next game, the 8th grade Division I state championship game. It'll be the Tigers of Newburgh Middle School against Bowling Green.
I'm looking forward to that game and the next game after that.
Yep, the last game provided the best set of semifinal games we had all day yesterday. We had some good ones. These two were the next to last and the nightcap, and we were here for a long time. I think Coach Meehan and William and I would have not been too upset if it had been after midnight when these games finished, but TK Stone out of Elizabethtown knocked off Hopkinsville 38-36 in a game that had a host of big, explosive plays on the offense, some really good defensive plays on both sides, and it came down literally to the last play of the game when Hopkinsville threw one. Actually, the next to last play, they threw a pass deep that just got off the fingertips of a Hopkinsville Tiger.
Wow, it was so
and he
close.
was a good 5 yards behind the defense, which would have won the game for Hoptown. This is Gibson returning the ball back, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Northern Pulaski at the 36. He was knocked off his feet by Burton for the South Warren Spartans. Their opponent was in an equally as exciting game that came down literally to the last play of the football game. Lexington Catholic knocked off Belfry 24-22. And Belfry was going for their 5th straight appearance and 5th straight state title.
It was both of those games. We mentioned before, we were exhausted. We were here since 8 o'clock this morning and yesterday morning doing games. But if it wasn't for those last 2 games, I don't know. But they were so good. They just pumped the adrenaline up so much. We had Belfry people ringing bells and the cowbells, and the officials didn't want the cowbells, and they were complaining.
Well, actually, I got confirmation on that. What the problem was it had gone back to an earlier game where Crosby had played Bowling Green, and they were wondering if you could rush the kicker because Bowling Green was kicking the extra points. And they were told, yes, they could, but the officials were not used to that rule either. So it wound up, that was the whole question, the whole delay of the game to that point.
Yes, but we saw people come over into the stands and tell them, do not ring the cowbell.
That was the coaching staff for Belfry. I think they just assumed what was going on. They never talked to the Belfry coaches, evidently. So. Right. I mean, I'm not the Crosby coaching staff.
I don't know. It
was weird. It was the whole thing. We never got told, but I heard some people talking about that in the other part of the press box. They turned to give it off to the deep man. A new quarterback in for Northern Pulaski. That's Matthew Shadowin.
Yeah, I think Darren, they made some subs, buddy, because they called a timeout there. There's no reason to call a timeout there.
Shadowin's now the new quarterback, 17 in maroon. Don't you dare say purple.
No.
I did that one time, and boy, it kind of.
It's like Eastern Kentucky.
Right. Don't say that, And Shadowin brings the guy in motion, hands it to him. This is we're going to get a hold behind the play. And now we have a personal foul on sportsmanlike conduct on the young man from South Warren, and that's going to cost him. Got a hold, though, coming up on Northern Pulaski. That was the first flag. The second flag is going to be the unsportsmanlike conduct personal foul.
What was the unsportsmanlike? I was following some
well, they threw a couple punches. And we get the ejection of the young man. It'll be South Warren football. And you understand the frustration of South Warren, but again, no place for it. And, hey, it's just not good. Yeah. So, unfortunately, a hold is what happens in a game occasionally. Frustration on the South Warren part of things. I can understand maybe a pushback, but the punches, that I don't agree with at all.
Yeah, I understand too. And the officials have got to keep control of the game. So
they're trying.
That's what they're doing.
Yep. And it'll be South Warren with the football. So clock running, 4:40 to play in the continuous running clock. We have twin receivers to either side. Now they're going to run Just Martin to the left side to make it trips. Now they're going to bring Jenkins in motion. Fake the jet sweep. They'll throw over that side to Martin. In pursuit is number 26 for Northern Pulaski, Barrick Williams, who makes the tackle on Martin.
It's a good job over there covering the little flare pass, and they diagnosed it right away, came up to make the tackle. Pretty impressive team. We've seen two good teams now in both of these first two games, Darren, and both teams are strong defensively.
Yeah, and at this level, if you've got a strong defensive team, you're going to be very tough to move the ball on, number one, and number two, you're going to give your offense a whole lot of really short fields to work on and work with. And at the high school level, you got a few of those as well. They bring Jenkins in motion again, and they fake the jet sweep this time, and Willingham will get wrapped up right in the line of scrimmage. And that's 47, Jericho Dixon, on the tackle for the Maroons.
Well, we've called his name a few times.
Yep, just a couple of times here recently.
Doing a pretty good job.
Playing that middle linebacker for this Maroon defense right now. You also have number 2 in there, and that's Drew Polston still. He's playing defense right now for Northern Pulaski. Doesn't get in a lot. You don't see a lot of teams at this level, Coach Meehan, that will play their quarterback on both sides of the ball. There are a few, but you try to keep it limited that way. They run the jet sweep with Burton. He cuts it back up inside. They get over the original line of scrimmage to about the 9. Ran right behind 64, David Hudson. You're right. That center is diminutive, isn't he?
He really is. They got a
Jace Rich, I think, who's the center, 54. Actually, no, it's 65. We don't have 65 on the South Warren roster. Daggone it. Occasionally
it might be 68.
68, yeah. Dalton Smith is who that is. Willingham back to pass, steps up in the pocket. It collapses.
Yeah, number 40, nice job of getting through. Price,
Price.
Yeah, he did a super job of coming through there and making the tackle.
And Pulaski will take over on downs with 1:55 to go on the continuous running clock. Division I 8th grade championship coming up. If you want athletic ability and athletes all over the field, you got them on both sides, Newburgh and Bowling Green.
They're both loaded, and these two games have been sort of blowouts, but I don't expect that in the next two.
We really didn't expect that in either one of these first two games either. It's just New Harlan and Northern Pulaski came out early and established a visit, just a physicality. This is going to have a flag on a hold. That's another number. That's 48. That is Michael Kraft going to the end zone, but unfortunately it's coming back.
Right, yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Yep. Teammates celebrating with him. Chandler Gobby had to go pick up his mouthpiece twice. He dropped it in celebration. But it's coming back and going to have a hold right at the 28-yard line.
That clock should not be stopped. It isn't.
No.
Okay. No,
unless the white had stopped it, but I don't think why he would do that.
No, there would no reason unless it's just habit,
And I'm sure it's habit. It is a hold against Northern Pulaski. It'll be a minute one. Now he winds again. He's trying to. Yeah, I think it's just habit.
It is. I think it's habit too.
It's only a rule that's been in place for 3 years, 2 years maybe.
They get excited.
Yep. And they do that for a couple of reasons. I mean, I was picking up the newspaper on Saturday morning, started looking at some paper, and I'm seeing 80-something to nothing, and 92. I saw, of course, there was one with no continuous clock until late in the ball game when Connor and Franklin County played in a regular season game, and it was I think it was 92 to 50-something.
And they blew the lights on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and buses were warmed up a long time before that. Here's Shadowin. He's trying to come right. He goes or left, comes back all the way to the right side.
My little buddy's over there.
And he makes the tackle.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you.
That is Ethan Goss over there on that far side.
22 and 15. Wow, tough guys.
And they got Coach. But guess what? As a former head coach, and I had it happen to me one time, I threatened my assistant coaches. I said, I'll fire every one of you if you allow them to do this.
What, throw Gatorade on you?
Ice cold water, and it was like 20 degrees.
Yeah, well, I had just the opposite.
Yeah.
It was 95 degrees.
And you were hoping
win.
they did.
And they dumped ice water on me, and I thought my heart stopped.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I couldn't even catch my breath.
No fun.
No.
But the unfortunate thing was one of my assistant coaches was my youngest brother, and he did it, not them. So Northern Pulaski, the champion of the 7th grade division of the Middle School Football Association state playoffs. And, again, Coach, a team that came out early and just dictated the tempo and exactly how this game is going to be played on both sides of the ball. And unfortunately for South Warren, they never got on track.
No, never got on track. We're about to have the awards ceremony. We'll keep it right here, obviously, so fans can watch the two football teams. South Warren, tough road to get here. They worked hard. A good football team. They just couldn't match up against the Maroons' power on offense and defense.
They just didn't have an answer for the Maroon offense. And now I'm looking forward to seeing these East-West All-Star games. I know some of these young men will play basketball in the winter for their respective middle schools. So we may or may not see a lot of these guys, but I would love to see some of these guys that have starred here in these two games in their things. Okay, we're going to listen to this right now.
To recognize the Football State Championship